Michael.
Hey, aloha.
Aloha. Good to see you. This is a beautiful place you live. Nice
Thank you.
view of the bay over there. That's Kaneohe Bay.
That's Kaneohe Bay.
This is Michael Coulson, and he is a contractor here in Kaneohe, but the whole island?
Kaneohe, yeah. We work all over the island.
All over the island. So when you say that, I know this is a massive island. It's what, 49 miles long, something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah. So do you work all the way to the North Shore, or?
I would, yeah.
You just...
We've been lucky enough to be working around this general area.
Because traffic,
10 miles.
I've noticed there is a little bit of traffic.
There's some traffic for sure.
So this island is 49 miles long, but it has 1 million people. Is that right? Close to it?
Just a little over 1 million.
Just a little over 1 million. Okay, so it's still growing.
It has a populace for sure.
So with all of the islands, the big island, which is big, and Maui and Kauai and the other islands, something like 80% of the population live here on this one island.
That's right. Oahu means the gathering place.
You may know I'm from this island.
Yeah.
I grew up here. My wife grew up just down the road in Kailua, and I was on the other side in Mono Valley. So
it's good to have you home.
Nice to be home. So what I'd like to do is to start the shop tour off. My goal or my hope is to introduce folks to how people work. Mm-hmm. You know, whether you got a big wood shop and you do woodworking, or you do remodeling and you work out of a van. So what's your thing? What do you do?
I'm a remodeling contractor. We seem to do a lot of second-story additions and kitchens and bathrooms.
Okay.
It seems to be our niche, the second-story addition.
Second-story addition.
Yeah.
So you're actually adding a second story.
In Hawaii, land is sparse, so you get small lots, and people, ohana will come and you'll build another story rather than, building outward.
Okay. Now I've seen a lot of that around, but interesting, it's looked a little different than the second-story additions we've done. It almost looks like a house on top of a house a lot of times. So where they've got posts, and it's almost like you could take the house out from underneath and that one would stay there.
They have single wall homes here, the plantation houses that are 3/4 of an inch thick, the walls.
Okay.
And what they'll do is they'll jack those up and build underneath them. So it looks like a house built on top of the house.
You do have a little shop that we're going to take a peek at, but you don't work here a lot. You're working on the job.
My work is on the job.
The way I do. So we're not woodworkers per se.
Well, more of a hobby.
Yeah, the woodworking is a hobby. The real work is remodeling and building.
That's right.
And that is on the job. So you've got to take your tools to the job. Your craft has to be mobile or portable. So how do you do that?
Well, that's where I found you on the internet, was your build out, and I thought, what an excellent idea. So I purchased this van last year and started to follow your videos and build this thing out so that it's going to accommodate my tools. I can find things when I need them. That's been my biggest hassle.
Getting organized.
Driving a truck and having everything stuffed in a toolbox.
Would you mind giving us a peek?
No, I'd have to show you.
All right, well, we're going to take a look. What do you got here? By the way, I kind of recognize this a little bit. I see some similarity, but I see some differences too. So show me what you got.
Well, first and foremost, you've got to have your coffee maker on the job site.
Excellent.
And I got a small charging station over here that works really well. I just purchased some Milwaukee tools, so that works very well. And all my charged batteries on it. And I stole one of your ideas with electrical to run it down through a pipe through the floor, so that this actually goes to a transfer switch, which will switch the van to AC power from the house. But I also have 2 deep cycle batteries down there. Okay. And the transfer switch will, if I'm not connected to the house, it'll run off of those batteries, so I can turn these lights on.
So your lights, what all works off of your batteries? Your lights?
Everything.
Everything. So you can plug in
chargers.
Chargers.
I could be charging on my way home at night, or my coffee maker. I like the idea of sliding the sheet goods in. That's why I kept everything up off the floor.
So you have 4 feet or more width in here to slide in underneath.
Good 15 sheets of 3/4 plywood if I needed to. And this is your system of quarter-inch panels.
The
separating
cubbies.
tools.
The
Works
cubbies that I
great.
lovingly
Love
call.
it.
So you're double dipping then. You've got
Yeah.
you got the cubby space, but then you're using the space in front of it so that you can roll these around.
Every little bit counts.
With your guys, I get asked this question all the time. This and it gets stated to where people don't believe me. That trailer looks so neat and clean. It's never been used. So I'm going to look at this truck and say
Yeah.
it's as neat and clean as my trailer. Does this thing get used?
Absolutely. I swept it out real good for you to come by and look at it today. But,
How do you keep it so clean with 4 guys working?
well, to be honest, it's been a work in progress, and I've maybe used it for about a month.
Okay.
So I just finished these up before you came. So I just built my charging station Saturday.
So are you educating the guys that every tool has a place and it goes
yes.
there every day?
Yes.
And they're pretty good about that?
Yeah, respectful.
Okay, we got something else here that he's going to share.
That's something I came up with because you got to carry your own granite.
Okay, so you can put granite slabs on this.
Tighten this down, yeah. And then clamp it. Clamp the granite to the ground.
How about, do you ever replace glass units in frames, or do you just do whole windows?
So if I'm going to carry sheet glass, it fits right on there. Or shower glass.
Shower glass?
That's really
Well, that's excellent. And you got it set up so when it's up there, it's. I thought it was just framing for your to make your shelves a little more durable. Excellent. New idea. You guys, make sure you steal it. 4-man crew and himself, all out of this. That's pretty impressive. I've talked him into giving me a peek in his shop. He says it's a little shop and it's mostly a hobby, but it'll still be fun to go take a look at it.
Yeah, come on. Let's go look.
So this is the shop.
This is my.
So it's not in the basement. It's not in. It's right
built
outside.
on the hillside here.
And it's right outside your back door.
Yeah.
So you're connected.
Steps. Come on in.
Wow. Well, you probably don't notice that you've been here so long, but I walk into the shop and I see the water.
Yeah.
Conway Bay. I'd have a hard time getting anything done. So what do you got?
Well, I got a little bit of everything. I've been here, like you said, for probably 20 years, and I need to probably organize this shop like my van.
You know, it looks pretty organized. I mean, I'm seeing the lumber stack tied up in the rafters there.
Yeah.
And it looks like you've got some thought into how tables
Yeah.
work together.
Yeah.
Your bandsaw's there. It looks like it's pretty even height with this stuff. I've seen guys that work with these rulers, how they can make those intricate inlays and
Yeah.
stuff. You know, just by
The
Doing-
dovetail joinery.
Yep. The double and tripled up with the different woods and
Yeah,
stuff.
beautiful.
Yeah, that's woodworking at a level that I admire from a distance.
It does, but
You got a nice stack of Festool over there. That's pretty cool. So you're into Festool. That you know, I find a lot of guys that I talk to in my area, and I say, "Oh, Festool, they'll say, "What's Festool?"
yeah.
So in Hawaii, they're
Some beautiful
pretty
tools.
well known.
Yeah, well engineered.
It's a small space, but you've got it laid out well. I also see a couple of tracks over there for that new.
Yeah, that's wonderful stuff.
I just got one of those. I
saw
haven't
that.
actually used it on the job yet. I've played with it in the shop, but that looks like that's going to be a handy little tool.
It is.
Well, for the guys watching, we've talked about how you work on the island and your efficiencies working out of small spaces. The van has to be small, running big crews, relatively big crews out of that. Is there, and this is a surprise question, so take a minute to think about it. A lot of guys that email me and comment are young guys that have been, or guys that have retired from something else, so we won't even go age here, but they're young into the industry, and they want to get started. They want to, you know, do a little remodeling, build little decks, maybe they want to do full-on houses for people. What can you say from your own experience, how you got into it, to encourage this next generation of contractors, of woodworkers, of how they can get started or things they can do to help them along the way?
Well, if they're just getting into it, I totally recommend learning from someone. You know?
Okay.
Me, I had to go to work for someone for 10 years and learn the trade, learn the ins and outs of working on the island,
Right.
But today we have YouTube.
In the islands, you can't just go buy a contractor. You can't wake up in the morning and just decide to write a check and be a contractor. You
No,
have
sir.
to,
You've got to work for someone, and you have to actually be a foreman for 4 years.
Okay.
In, whether it's plumbing, electrical, or construction.
okay.
And
So
you
to be,
have to
so
have-
to be a general and to have a license, it's an experience that you have to document. Do you have to take a
Yes,
test?
You do. You have to take
You have to take a test?
And you have to have a resume that you've
Okay.
built from ground up. They want to see all aspects of construction: concrete, framing, drywall. They want to see all that in your resume.
If I came over here and said, hey, I've got 27 years, I've built over 200 houses, would I still have to go to work for somebody?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have the resume. You have
Just take the
experience,
test.
and you've been a contractor for so long.
Thank you for sharing the aloha. Mahalo.
My pleasure.